Could this be the year that Ferrari fights for a championship? And I mean it. Could it be? I'm Tim Hauraney. This is Nailing the Apex. Day 2 of Bahrain testing has come to a conclusion. Just got back to the hotel. It's 11:43 p.m. Been a long day. I've got the gold medal hockey game on beside me here, so you may see my head dart off to the side, but that's what I'm looking at, keeping track of the score. Right now it's tied 1-1, Canada, USA, for those of you who live in Europe or other parts of the world to listen or watch our show. This is a big rivalry between our two countries when it comes to hockey. So the women's gold medal hockey game, Canada taking on the United States, tied at 1. They're in intermission, heading to OT. So yeah, got it on beside me. So you may get a reaction during this podcast. I have no idea. All I know is I needed to tape this. So let's talk about what I took away from day 2 of Bahrain testing. Ferrari. I want to start with Ferrari. I teased them off the top because they looked really, really, really good. Like really, really good. I'm really surprised and impressed with just how good Ferrari has looked over the last few days. I don't think they're at Mercedes' level just yet, but that doesn't mean they won't be there later this season, because I feel with development rate and how things are going to move quickly in this regulation, I think that they'll be able to make a step and catch up. So Ferrari has been sort of that first team to really innovate on the chassis side. That was one of the first things that obviously I noticed on Wednesday. They ran that really neat exhaust sort of wing on the Wednesday, and on the Thursday they debuted that wild upside down rear wing. And I'm pretty sure if you were online or on social media, you saw it, because it was like the Mercedes DAS system when that thing was released on a onboard camera during testing one year, when the steering wheel pulled back and the front wheels turned in a bit. Yeah, seeing that out on track and then seeing all the videos of it was pretty wild. So that rear wing flipping around about 225 degrees. FIA technical director Nicholas Tombassis, he had held a media roundtable on Thursday night, and I went to it, and a journalist had asked him what he thought of what Ferrari was doing with that rear wing. And it sounded a lot like it was legal. He didn't raise any red flags with it whatsoever. And he actually thought it was quite innovative. And I think that was part of these regulations, was trying to innovate when it came to those straight line modes and what people could do, or what teams could do with the wings. And you can bet that every team is now taking that back and analyzing what they had done and to see if it would work on their car. Now, granted, Ferrari didn't really run long with it on. I believe it broke. That's one of the things that I had heard. No confirmation on that from the team. And they took it off, so it made a quick appearance. It made a quick appearance, and then it left. So whether or not it did break, maybe it just didn't work as well as they thought it was going to, or maybe they just wanted to trial it out and see what kind of data they could get off of it. Who knows? Could it make a return? Yes, it could. It might. We'll have to wait and see. When I took a look at it, though, I just don't really understand what they were thinking with it. Like, I don't get where that performance gain is. Look, I know you want to limit drag when you have the wings open like that, but again, I just didn't see I didn't see where the advantage was with it, because instead of you're watching it on track, you're getting lift, right? Like when you invert a wing. So yeah, interesting. I'll be curious to find out more on Friday. Let's talk about the standing starts and Ferrari's turbo, because I think this is going to be a key talking point this season. On Wednesday, the F1 Commission met and they went through things like lift and coast, energy deployment, super clipping, a lot of the regulations, some safety stuff, and standing starts. And on Thursday morning, I got a message from the FIA that said that they would be replicating the starting procedures that they had done previously for both the AM and the PM session. So we were going to get standing starts at the end of the AM session and the end of the PM session on Thursday. And I think it's going to happen again for Friday as well. Now, you may be asking yourself, why, Tim, would they have to be working on standing starts and that procedure? Well, the teams in the FIA have been working through trying to get safer standing starts, because that is that is actually a danger there they see, I think. And a lot of it has to do with that turbo that needs to be spooled up. Now that you don't have the MGUH and the exhaust gases from that helping the turbo to spool up anymore, all you've got is the MGUK. It's been quite challenging for some teams to spool up the turbo. So once the last car makes their way to the grid, the drivers are shown this big blue light. It's huge. You couldn't miss it. And once that blue light starts flashing, they're going to be getting an extra 5 seconds to spool up their engines before you see the red lights start to come on. And as the red lights are starting to come on, the engines obviously have been spooling for that extra 5 seconds, plus the lights going out. So before the red lights even start to come on, that's when you're going to hear these cars start to really spool up, where in the past it was soon as the last car hit the grid, the green flag went at the back, then you saw the lights, then the cars started revving their engines. Now that's going to be a little bit more different. These cars are going to be getting those turbos spooled up a lot earlier. And before the red lights went out, I was curious to see where everybody was lined up. Kept noticing Ferrari was actually closer to the back, and they, for me, stood out on these standing starts. So Ferrari, I think, have really got a weapon here. The car is being driven by Lewis Hamilton today on Thursday. And in both the morning and the evening standing start sessions, Hamilton looked like he was shot out of a cannon. It was incredible, the starts he was getting. His evenings, his PM start, so his late night start, was better than his morning start, and his morning start was really damn good. Now, Haas also had a good start as well. Remember, Haas is running Ferrari power units as well, and so that Ferrari power unit in their turbo, which they've designed, so a small little turbo that's in that V6 turbo hybrid engine, it could have possibly given them a huge advantage to start races, because Hamilton's start was absolutely incredible. I couldn't believe it. Just seeing it, you should have heard the people in the media center. Everyone was getting just so excited to be like, wait, what? Ferrari did what? And you see how far back Lewis came from. If you can, go online, go back, take a look at it. It's pretty impressive stuff from Ferrari, that's for sure. Let's talk about Mercedes and obviously their compression controversy. We talked about it last podcast. I explained the compression ratio yesterday on Wednesday. But sticking with Wednesday, I had heard a rumor that the team's synthetic fuel, which is made by Petronas, may also be in trouble as well. And Toto Wolff was taking questions from us in the press conference today, not only about their engine, but also about their fuel. And he was getting extremely irritated with all of the questions. And I think just all of the rumors at the moment are really starting to aggravate the guy. And look, I get it for sure. But the thing is, with all of these teams, right? If there are 4 engine manufacturers, who are raising concerns, getting quite passionate about this topic, and there's a bit of smoke there, then sometimes there's fire. Now, again, the compression ratio thing is all alleged, and the synthetic fuel thing is just a rumor, no confirmation from the team at all in any of that either. And I think like we won't know if their fuel. Well, I know their fuel. We won't know if their fuel has been verified until Australia. And if it hasn't been verified, then they won't be able to start. Not unless they can buy fuel from one of their rivals. I highly doubt that would ever happen. So there has been a lot swirling around Mercedes during this test. Like it's been wild. I'm trying to find out if there is a different type of synthetic fuel that Mercedes could take if their fuel is deemed not verified. If it's, oh, what a save. Sorry, guys. American goaltender had a good save there. What do we got here? Still, yeah, obviously it's still 1-1. It's overtime, 16:49 mark in this game. Pretty exciting stuff. It's good. It's good game. It's a good game. Where was I? My apologies, everyone. Sorry, back to the show. So Mercedes and the fuel. So if Petronas fuel isn't verified, I'm still trying to find out if the FIA can provide them with another fuel. Maybe it's not going to be as competitive. However, maybe it could get them to the grid. So I'm still trying to figure out what is going on there and how that's going to be handled. Hopefully I have more information for you all on Friday, because honestly, it's been a lot. There's been a lot of information to take in with this rules and regulations stuff. Even some of the team personnel and drivers don't even know half of the stuff. It gets really complex. Also, Kimi Antonelli, obviously driving for Mercedes in the evening sessions at the quickest time today as well. He looked great. Kimi's looked really good over these test sessions. I'm really impressed with Antonelli. This is not an easy formula to wrap your head around and to adapt to the driving styles. Now, the drivers are going to have to be forced to do that, but it's going to take some time. But I'm really impressed with how quickly Kimi Antonelli has gotten on top of all of this thing. I want to touch on being trackside and what I saw today. Oh, no, America just scored. Oh, it's devastating. Oh, no. Oh, the Americans. Man. Oh, that's tough. What a good game, though. Canadian women played really well. I'm really proud of them. They did a great job. Marie-Philippe Poulin. Oh, she's been playing through probably a lot of injuries. I'd be curious to know just how injured she got there a couple games ago. Oh, that's a tough one. That's a hard one. Sorry, folks. Yeah, sorry. In Canada, obviously, this is a really big game. In the United States, it's a really big game. So, yeah, it means a lot. But whenever these two countries play each other in the Olympics, they're always massive games to watch in any tournament, really. So they're always really, really big games to watch. But great game. Congrats to the U.S., great job by Canada. Proud of them. Proud of those girls. They really did a really good job. Let's talk about trackside and what I saw today, because being trackside today was very interesting. The top four. So Mercedes, McLaren, Ferrari, Red Bull Racing. The top four, I feel, have a gap to those that are behind. So the midfield. I think what you've got is you've got sort of Mercedes. They've got a bit of an advantage. Then you've got, it's a bit of a cluster, but McLaren, Ferrari, Red Bull. Then you've got a big gap. Then I think you've got Haas. And then I think there's another bit of a gap where I think you see the likes of Alpine, Racing Bulls, Audi maybe. And then I think you got another gap, and you got a couple more cars, another gap, a couple more cars. So the field after the top four, I feel is very spread out, and there's some big gaps there that need to be clawed back. But Zach Brown is interesting. Is hearing from him during the press conference I spoke to him also in the press conference. I actually talked to him about the USA Canada game. Zach Brown doesn't think they are leading that big four. He doesn't think that they're the team to beat. Now, watching them trackside, I really felt that you could see how smooth Russell was with the Mercedes. You could see how smooth that car was. And then, oh no, everybody in the media center is blowing me up now because of the US just winning. Oh my God. Yeah. Everyone's getting on top of me. Here we go. But I think you've got. I think when going back to Zach Brown, I'm so sorry, everybody. I'm making a mess out of this whole thing. Zach Brown's comments when it comes to that big four, he does feel that McLaren is in it. And like I had said, watching Russell trackside, you could just see how smooth Russell was with the car. You could just see how compliant it was with everything on turn in, on power down. And then the McLaren came through with Lando Norris driving. And again, similar, Lando, the car turns in really nicely. The gearbox is really good on it. And then it's very compliant as well on the front end. But it's then once you get to the power down on exit, doesn't seem as smooth as the Mercedes. Doesn't seem like he can really access all that energy, all that power coming out of turn 10 is where I was standing. Didn't really seem like he could access all of that as easily as George did. So I think for McLaren, it's just more of that refinement. And Andre Stella had said something earlier in January where he was essentially saying that there was going to be a development rate for their car. They may start on the back foot, but they would pick it up and they would move the car forward quite quickly. I have a feeling that, yes, Mercedes will start with that bit of that advantage. I do see these teams catching them because I was speaking with Laurent Mekies, and he told me today that he doesn't believe that they are as quick as Mercedes and McLaren. He feels that they are struggling more so. I don't know how much I believed of him, but he was very convincing. And I think when it comes to Red Bull Racing, same sort of thing where, Laurent was explaining to me that, that development rate is going to be huge. He's going to be really, really big. And it's all about the size of the steps that you take when you bring the new components to the car. And it's not just going to be like in years past where you brought a new front wing, a new floor that brought you this amount of, this amount of performance. It's going to be everything. It's going to be like new gearbox, different type of a power unit, different type of a floor, different wing concepts. How much drag do you have in your car? Maybe it's a different DRS setup. So there are going to be these big evolutions with the cars, and we'll see that as the season sort of plays out. So that for me, I think is going to be extremely exciting to see. And I think it's also going to lend itself to some really big swings when it comes to the performance. I think there's going to be tracks where we may think Mercedes is going to be competitive, but when we get there, it could be another team because maybe their deployment is a bit better. So yeah, stuff like that I think is going to be very, very, very interesting. I will be back after testing on the final day on Friday. I will update you what I had learned from Friday, and then we are going to get set up for the very first race of the season in Australia. Adam Wild's coming back onto the show, everybody. So get pumped. And yeah, I'll talk to you all on Friday night.